you were speaking and you said, look, let you go back to the level of investment, capital investment this administration has made into the army. Has it really been worth it if it takes Tantita Security Services, which is a firm, to put it as quaintly as the government puts it, a firm in which Tompolo has a stake, and that it's not dealing with Tompolo directly, but with the company in which he has a stake. Okay, so you were about to explain all of that, why things are the way they are.
Yes, I said I'm calling the attention of the political leaders, whether at the or the legislative branch, that in terms of what you get out of your security, naira and kobo, it mostly depends not necessarily on the size of the budget, but on how you spend it. If you do not have a balanced budget, when I look at several armed forces of the world, you find that on average, good armed forces will end up spending 25 to 30% of their budget on personnel costs. But unfortunately, when you look at our budget over this, including this last one, you will see us spending about 60 to 70 to 80. Now, it's not only the military that has that problem. Almost all Nigerian ministries, they have that kind of over-bloated personnel expense. But then we are talking about our security. So I'm not saying the security sector is the only one guilty, but that is the one that concerns us now. If you have a security that's spending that much, what happens is that you will have less money to do operations, you will have less money to do training, and consequently, the result that you're getting from your security will also be reflected that way, in a negative way. So the point I'm saying is that the security machine or the security instrument is like a knife that you have to constantly keep sharpening. And if the political masters, whether this regime or any incoming regime, does not find a way to have a balanced security budget, yes, when people talk about security budget, they carry the large chunk, the total sum, and say, security is number one, is number three. But when you do the breakdown, it will make you weep. So like I was saying, I want to call on the conscience of people in the executive branch and even the legislative branch. How do you feel when you are complaining Nigeria has security problem, and you are approving a budget out of which 70 or 80% of it is going for recurrent expenditure? How do you feel? When you say security is not working, you are part of the problem. I do not see. The work of the government, whether executive or this thing, is to provide the finances for the security. But it's not only that. You make sure that the money is spent in a good way, in a way that will achieve results. I do not see that happening. When
whose job is that? Whose job is that to ensure that money voted for such a technical aspect is appropriately spent? Whose job is that? Isn't it the top guys in the army?
Exactly, they have a point, but we're talking of a democratic dispensation. In democratic dispensation, this is how the budget goes. The security agencies will be told to provide what they think they need. But that is not the final. When they do that, they take it to the executive branch, that is through the ministries, the relevant ministries, and to the president. So you see there are multiple sieving points. Even the Minister of Defense can decide that, look, you are telling me to come and build a new university, while at the same time you are telling me you don't have bullets. I'm not going to approve it. He doesn't take it to the president. If the Minister of Defense approves that at the presidency, somebody ought to say that, look, we are complaining that the Navy does not have enough boats, or Air Force does not have aircraft. So why are you telling me to go and renovate buildings to open university? I'm not saying university is not, I continue going back to university. I'm not saying university is not good, but there's prioritization. For a country at war, I don't think it should have, business building structures. It should have business for increasing the operational efficiency of the armed forces. If it passes that is why in democracy we say there is, the division of responsibility. Everybody has division of power. There is nothing that stops the National Assembly, especially those people who are living in the communities where people are suffering from insecurity. So look, I am not going to approve this budget. I do not think this is a priority. But the problem is that we do not see that happening. So if you blame the security agencies for bringing a budget that does not reflect what we actually need, you also have to, they have masters in the executive and the legislative branch who have the powers to change to exchange, to carry one item to another in the budget. But we do not see doing that. I'm calling on everybody to look at the budget of 2022. It is like that for many of the years since we started. So in terms of numbers, we are doing great. In terms of size, the Buhari administration is doing fine. But I am not comfortable with what the money is being done with. And if you don't do that, you will find that the situation where we have now, where a non-state actor is seemingly performing better than state actors who have been financed. So that is the issue. So if you are talking of blame, the blame can be spread everywhere, right from the security agencies themselves to the people in their supervisors in the executive branch and our lawmakers.
Also, Group Captain, it's a bit uncanny now. The Buhari administration is just months away from handing over. Can you hear me?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Now, do you find it a bit uncanny that now that the Buhari administration is just months away from handing over this kind of an initiative, and indeed these results are coming on, even though I'm not too clear about the detail, but this contract existed, predated the arrival of the Buhari administration, but I think it was cancelled, so the narrative goes. But now they've said, okay, yeah, this is the way to go, and then we're getting all these results. And by the way, it's not the first time. You remember that back in the Jonathan administration, OPC, the Odua People's Congress, they also had this kind of an arrangement, something like this, even though the results were not as astounding as the Nation newspaper put it in something they wrote a couple of days ago. Suddenly, Tompolo has become the hottest act in Nigeria's crackdown against oil thieves. It's uncanny. And this didn't happen from the beginning of the 8-year, what has now become the 8-year Buhari administration. It's coming at the tail end of it. What would be your commentary on that? Maybe if we'd been here within the first 3 to 6 months of the Buhari administration, do you think it might have been different?
Hello, sir?
Yeah. Can you hear me now? I was saying
yes,
that
I can hear you.
All of this is just coming now. All these successes are coming just a couple of months.
Yes, well, like we see, there is this issue. While the Buhari administration, can be, applauded for making inroads in some aspects, unfortunately, it is security. And why people are emphasizing security, we have to be very clear. Buhari is a former military man. So I think the expectations on him on security are even more than on a president like Jonathan, who, with due respect, would say is a civilian with no military background. So having said that, every regime, when it is about to go out, it will like to leave a lasting legacy, or at least to show that things are improving. So I can understand that. But again, I said that using non-state actors, where you have members of the armed forces and other security agencies, should be a short-term fix. I do not pray, I do not hope that the incoming regime will continue a situation where you have the military, you have the police, and yet you are relying on a non-state actor. If given no results, there's no doubt about that. But I want it to be, a kind of a short fix, so that eventually, because the best thing, it even comes down to the big question of governance, the question of monopoly of the means of violence. The government agency should always be seen as the one that's an ideal working state. The government agencies should be the ones that have the monopoly of violence to confront all issues that are security and are threatening the country. Where we have, the national agencies not being able to provide that service, it is something that should worry everybody.
Yeah,
it's
indeed.
Something that should worry everybody.
Okay.
So I hope we will not see this as a long-term solution, that Tompolo or any other will be the person that will be providing security for our structures.
Okay. And finally, Group Captain, are you optimistic that our military, our whole security architecture can consolidate on this, shall we say, pathway that Kantita / Tompolo Tantita being the name of the firm, Tantita Security Services, and Tampolo, what they've just chatted, do you think our military paraphernalia will be able to at least consolidate? Now they know things that they didn't know before. That's the way to probably look at it.
Well, it is conditional. Like I said, what the security does and what fails to do is reliant on several key players. I just finished talking in the last question. Yes, it is always good to, say the military or the security didn't do this, do that. But the security agencies are not working as well. When we say security architecture, please, you are not only talking of the actors that carry guns or do the operation. The presidency, the relevant ministries, the oversight bodies, they all form of the security architecture. You do not give a security agency money and you don't follow the money. You do not say you do not check the budget. With due respect, in the last budget, I saw the chairman of the security committee saying that they have gotten the budget from the intelligence agencies. They didn't check anything. They are not going to check anything because it's not their duty. I think that is a very lazy way and ignorant way of doing oversight. It is your duty to actually check what the money is, how they are using it.
All right, then. Well, I want to thank you very much. As always, Group Captain Sadeeq Garba Shehu, retired, counter-terrorism spokesman of the Nigeria Air Force. He's also an academic in the region of security and counter-terrorism. Thank you very much for your time, Group Captain.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
All right, then. So there we have it. We might be getting some calls as well, but it's not a situation that has escaped anybody. There are those who are saying this is ironic. As I was saying, you might have read it also that Femi Falana, SAN, has said that as far as he's concerned, this is tantamount to the president declaring a vote of no confidence on our military. Good morning, Mazi Okoroafo.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, guest.
Go ahead, please.
You see, this issue of oil theft and oil dissent. Look, I will advise the Nigerian government to adopt the Israeli approach. You see, what they used to do in Israel is that if they see that you have a talent that maybe that is not good for the country, but you're using it to acquire something, what do? They incorporate you into the system of the approach. What am I trying to say? If government will just say, okay, all those people doing this oil thefts, different locations in oil producing areas, come, let's sit down and dialogue. Whatever we are dialoguing. Gather logos, okay. Let us start producing this in water. That is why we be talking about this modular refinery and this African refinery, which many of them have been doing. Because no matter the type of security we mount, if we like, let us use drone, the highest drone in the whole world, and keep them. Some of these things we see that this oil are in people's compound. Let me give you an example. In my place, I'm from Aruchuku. In my own compound, when we started to build borehole, we discovered that the borehole we are putting and oil is there. When we bring out oil, before the soap will dissolve. So we call people that are expert. So they say, listen, the oil in the ground there is part of the pot water. That is why if you use the water and bath, you start scratching about. What do? We condemn that particular area of the land because oil passes through that land. Now, the same thing applicable to this one. This crude oil are in their own compound. No matter what you do, they will still extract it and still produce whatever they want to produce. Gather them. That is the new option. Because one, we have NNPC limited without a refinery. Today, Nigeria we are talking about scarcity of fuel. Gas kerosene is no longer an issue because flood has ravaged the whole, according to international news, that 3/4 of Nigeria will be taken over by flood, which we are still hanging. That which are still saying government, in as much as talking about oil, they must be dammed in all the six geopolitical zones if we want to stop this flood. That is the only option. Because if we continue saying arrest them, at the end of the day, while they are arresting, some are, the boys back here are still doing another one, some are still relocating. So that is the issue. Now,
okay, Mazi, thank you very much. I think the call dropped. Well, I don't think you finished, but thank you very much. We did get plenty from what you did contribute in terms of your own perspective. really, it's about consolidation. Now, since the group captain, who is our guest, our security, person on the program, he has said that he hopes this is going to be more of a short-term thing, and certainly shouldn't be, a long-term thing. But who knows anymore? Who would have known that the Buhari administration, in spite of its massive investments into things like this, would have taken on Tantita? But then, I guess people can't criticize, because the alternative, no doubt the administration saw that, look, if we were to continue the way we're going, then we're not going to get any breakthrough in terms of this, and the thing to do probably is what they did do, and within months, Tantita Security Services, a security firm, easily the most successful security firm in Nigeria, I would guess, at around 4 billion a month, according to, published newspaper reports. They decided that was the way to go in order to get even the results that we have. So the next thing is hopefully, one, this can be consolidated now that the whole security architecture knows where to look, if they didn't know before. We just hope that now this can be consolidated. But I know it's probably not as simple as that, because if those guys are adamant, the bad guys, the oil thieves, I wonder if they could go to another far-flung place and just simply repeat this particular, kind of a gig. But one hopes not. It is what it is. We are managing, I think, most people who are patriotic Nigerians and who are proud of their men in uniform, they're probably managing this. But as I was saying, Femi Falana is not the only one, by the way. I've mentioned his name about a couple of times on the program. He's not the only one, but a lot of people have complained that it's not, even as some are rejoicing that now this has been exposed and so we can move forward. He's saying it's not really something that we need to be dancing and celebrating about. That it's embarrassing, is the way he put it. Did I say, is there another caller on the line? Okay, no, there isn't another caller on the line, but we're going to have to leave it here now. We, unfortunately, the bandwidth, I hope I'm using the right terminology, but we did, get our security expert, Group Captain Sadeeq Garba Shehu, retired. Not all the way we would have liked, but we started with Zoom and we finished up on the phone. Well, that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.